Hi community of awesome, I'm Ava J and this is Bookish Pixie. So writing multi-point of view novels creates a host of challenges, but one of the most common complaints about multi-point of view novels that didn't work is that the point of view characters sound the same. This is a bit of a challenge when you're writing not just a multi-point of view novel, but any novel, because you're one person, but when you're writing a book, you're writing from the perspective of people who aren't you. And when you're writing a multi-point of view novel, you're writing from the perspectives of many people who aren't you, and people who aren't each other either. So the key here to writing perspectives that sound different is getting to know each of your point of view characters. Start with considering how each of your point of view characters see the world. Voice is more than just word choice, it's also observation. It's filtering the world through a character's perspective. It's what they notice when they walk into a room, what they think as certain things happen, etc. Consider each of your characters' backgrounds and how that affects the way they speak and the way they see the world. So let's look at an example that I can talk about from experience, my debut Beyond the Red. Beyond the Red is a dual point of view novel told from the perspectives of Korra and Eros. So Korra is a queen raised in luxury, and Eros is a nomad living with humans who've been perpetually running for their lives. Their level of education, the way they view things, the observations they make, etc. are all drastically different because they come from drastically different backgrounds. So if Korra and Eros walk into the same room, they're going to see it completely differently. A room that to Eros might remind him of home and make him feel comfortable and relaxed might to Korra be completely unimpressive. And vice versa, a room that to Korra might be normal and remind her of home and make her feel comfortable might to Eros seem gaudy and overblown and ostentatious. Word choice, of course, is also important, but for me, I tend to focus on that part in revisions. I usually have a general sense of the way a character speaks when going into the first draft, so when writing Beyond the Red, for example, I knew from the beginning that Korra had a higher level of education than Eros, and was raised in a more formal, stricter setting. So the way that she speaks is more formal than the way Eros does. When time comes for that, I like to make a list of words or phrases or stylistic things that affect the way a character speaks, and then make sure that only one character is using them. So Eros, for example, starts a lot of sentences by dropping the subject, so he doesn't say I sometimes, for example. So that was something I had to make sure that only he was doing and Korra wasn't doing, because that was stylistically his. And he also uses a lot of slang that she doesn't use, and vice versa. She uses slang that he doesn't use. So at the end of the day, if done correctly, when you put all of that together, you will end up with very distinct point of view characters. So that's what I got for today. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and comment, and I'll see you guys next week.